Hey guys, welcome to another Real Estate Insight. Now, as real estate agent George, this is a little crazy. We're going to talk about it. Why you shouldn't purchase a house right now. Why you shouldn't purchase a house right now. All right. One of the most important part is that if your income, and obviously you're not going to get a loan, but for example, even if you get a loan and you have other expenses, the car expenses, the student
Nails, insurance, medical.
you go out a lot, don't purchase a home if your expenses exceed your mortgage payment as well as your taxes,
Exactly.
as insurance, and on top of that, the miscellaneous stuff people always forget about, which is going to be the utilities, and right now I got like
Repair,
my
maintenance.
irrigation and water is coming like to almost like $500 a month. Not 500, but it's about $200-$300 a month, right? Especially in where I live right now because we use a lot of water. So make sure that you're financially secure to purchase a house and don't forget about other things that you like to do. For example, even going out. So don't buy a house if you're not financially secure.
If you don't budget, you don't have an idea where your money's going in and out, we won't recommend it. You don't want to be house poor. To sum up really what we're talking about is you don't want to put all your money into this one house, 30, 40K, and you're like, wow, I'm 10K in debt every single month after. There's a reason for it. You got to really narrow down and figure out your finances. Another thing, people think, they want to buy a house, maybe rent out the basement because they don't, or maybe they will rent out one unit, but then now you're a landlord. Do you really want to be a landlord? You have experience flipping houses, you have experience being a landlord. When we can touch up on that, and the difficulties.
With the landlord part about it, if you're purchasing investment property, don't purchase investment property or invest the house if you're not ready for the minor stuff to take care of the headaches or with the tenants. Hey, the water is leaking, I don't get enough AC, or I don't get enough heat, there's cockroaches there. These are a couple of things that you're gonna have to deal with. Welcome to home ownership. If you're not ready to be stressed out, then I would highly recommend maybe get a condominium, maybe go get back to the rental, maybe buy in a complex that takes care of your backyard and your front yard. So that's leading into the next one. Don't buy a house if you don't want to maintain a house.
Yes. You don't want to pay the
hire
maintenance?
someone. Absolutely. I'm more of like hands-on experience, but if you feel like, hey, I don't want to do the cleaning, I don't want to do the backyard, I don't want to do the power washing, yes, you can hire it, but most likely budget for that too as well. So don't buy a house if you're not budgeting for something that you don't want to take care of or maintain a house.
Exactly.
Life happens, things happen in the house. It's a wear and tear that does happen. So make sure that you're ready for that. And that could go for anything. I think from co-ops to condos to single family and plus an investment too as well. So don't go ahead and buy a house because of that. And lastly, it's going to be, I highly recommend do not buy a house if you're going to sell it within 1 or 2 years. Right? If you're thinking that you're going to make money off of that, you're actually losing because you're not touching the interest at all unless you just want a great experience and you want to do Airbnb tomorrow
And just kind of have that.
crazy things that are happening. So make sure you have a long-term plan, at least minimum of 8 years. 80 years is when you are at least putting, the appreciation is still happening. Within 1 or 2 years, you're not really touching any of the appreciation. You're not touching any of the equity. And again, the closing cost is going to be included. So don't buy a house if you know that you're going to go ahead and move, or you're not going to keep the house for a long term. What you were saying, George?
Exactly. Now, say you'll be at a net loss because if you move in 1 or 2 years, like you said, the closing costs, Lord knows maintenance, everything else, you're gonna lose money at the end, and it's not worth it. Maybe you're not ready for a house. Maybe that's not where you're at. Maybe that's not where you should be. There's no problem with going for condo, going for co-op. You don't need to buy a house. You gotta make sure it's what you can afford and is what you're able to do. Condos aren't bad. Co-ops aren't bad. It's other routes to go to. You don't need to buy a house.
Yeah. Yep.
And property taxes.
Yeah, property taxes too. And again, you gotta be wary about that. So again, guys, don't buy a house because of the reasons that we just said to you. We want to make sure that you're protected. And if you guys need any help regarding real estate, because we are in real estate, I think we want to make sure that you are getting the right information too as well. Have an amazing day, guys. Watch out for
See you guys. Thank you again.
Watch out for another podcast
every week.